I think matters at the end of the day is the fact that we are valuing each other, that we're there to support each other. Oh, it's about, you know, taking part and investing in this house.
I'm Emma Brown and I'm graduating in the year 2017.
I'm Jessie Schneblin. I'm in the class of 2016.
Hi, my name is Rosalind Morabido and I'm class of 2015.
I'm Alex Nogi and I will be graduating in 2014, so this year, 2014. And my freshman year, the exec team, the very first exec team of 10 Boom was Laura Harrod as president, Clara Limbach as scholar, Andrea Mellinger as helmsman, and Lauren Christensen as our chamberlain.
In the new house, there were about a dozen founding members, and when we first started the house, we didn't have a namesake.
All of the founding members came together to debate it out and to try to decide unanimously who would be the namesake. And it was a mystery. It was the house of a question mark. And we chose Corrie because we love her story of resilience and forgiveness. We love her sacrifice. We love her dedication to family. And these were all elements that we thought were crucial to be themes in the house for years to come. We really hoped that our mission statement and our values would be something that could be lasting.
We chose peace because all of our founding members had experienced how overwhelming it can be to be a King's student. We also wanted the women of 10 Boom to be at peace with who Christ made them to be. We chose joy because
happiness is something that fades away, but joy lasts even through difficulty and struggle and sorrow. And the last one, valor,
because this is what we saw in Corrie 10 Boom, our namesake, who showed us that following Christ takes a certain amount of bravery. Well, our first initiation in the house of 10 Boom was quite an adventure.
So we go up to the old King's cabin and, you know, we sleep on the floor and we're gonna bond. That's what everybody has in mind. But Shelley Klein has something different in mind, and she wants us to do some team building. But little did we know that the last activity of this team building meant that we had to go outside and we had to, blindfolded, all together without losing anybody, find our way back to the King's cabin. So as morale dips low, Corinne Cordasco steps out of line and gives a very famous Braveheart speech that she is sorry that the English had killed our women and children, but we will prevail, we will press on, because the night before we had watched Braveheart. This is really when the House of 10 Boom was born.
If you had been around with the freshman class that year, we were really different than each other. But what was amazing is that we connected as sisters, and we wanted to love each other even though we were really different than each other. So even though misfits isn't quite the right term, that was part of our identity.
I can actually attest to that because some of the most unexpected friends I got from 10 Boom were like at another school, another place, we probably wouldn't have ended up crossing paths and being friends. The exec team my year was Clara Limbach as president, Laura Cook as scholar, and then Alessandra Haynes was my helmsman. And then my chamberlain was Becky Boss, who was also my big.
My exec team, the president was Christina Morgan, the scholar was Laura Bradshaw, the chamberlain was Megan Stoll, and the helmsman was Kendall C.
Well, the event I want to talk about is the drum competition, which is the second competition of the entire year. And we still didn't really know everyone in our class yet. I still didn't know everyone. And emerged as crazy warriors from Braveheart, which is our house movie. Just shows how adventurous and courageous we are, FYI. And their hair was ratted up and spray painted, and they had kilts and swords and face paint, and just looked pretty dang intimidating. I just remember being really excited to compete and the talents that each person showed.
My exec team this year is Laura Bradshaw as president, Kelsey Nevlett as scholar, Jordana Ellis as chamberlain, and Jessica Gibson as helmsman. One of my favorite things was the night, it was 110 Boom Tuesday, and we were coming up with our haka, or whatever, the thingy that we did at Powder Puff, and we were all just in the tiniest, we were in the like tiny studio freshman apartment, and there's like 20 girls in there, and we're just like jumping, and we were being really loud, but that was a lot of fun.
Our very, very, very first competition was the Great Race. And when we finally got to the end of the race, houses were leaving, and yet we had smiles on our faces. We literally spent about an hour sitting there until the sun set, just saying the things that we were encouraged by each other.
I was put on a sprint team, and I'm not athletic in the slightest. Laura turned around, and I processed out loud, so I'm like, oh, this sucks, like I hate this is not fun. She was just like, remember the fleas, guys, remember the fleas.
Oh, I love that.
And that's the story where when they were in the concentration camp, Corrie and her sister, they were just covered in fleas and just in a really gross situation, and so that is way worse than what we were doing by right.
The tulip ceremony is something that we've done every single in the house. It's where basically all of the nominees for the following year's exec team get announced at the tulip ceremony, and so if they accept their nomination, they accept the tulip. And usually, you know, we pray over the whole election process, kind of the beginning of passing on the torch. I think what Ten Boom means to me is that no matter what you're going through, your goal is to thrive, and that has just really been reiterated over and over again by the way that Ten Boom works together, the way we support each other, the way that we pray for each other, the way that we laugh with each other, and the way that we just want to pursue the Lord together, that we want to, you know, find our identities alongside one another, and that's really what thriving is, that it's not perfect, it's messy, and it's hard, but that it's beautiful. And for each and every one of us, it's beautiful. And so that's what Ten Boom really means for me.
We, the house of Corrie Ten Boom, are sisters sharing an adventure,
pursuing truth,
and thriving together.
we value
Peace,
joy,
and valor.